Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is November 7th, and right now we're looking at the visible satellite imagery. You can see the state of California. Look at this. There's virtually no marine layer up and down the coastal areas. That happens when you get these offshore dry winds. And if you look very close, you can see near Oxnard there is that fire still ongoing out there. And let's go ahead and take a closer look. You can see the actual fire burning last night here on the GOES 19 satellite imagery, I believe. Oh, we're looking at the GOES 18 right here, but this does show the fire right there. And if I scroll through here and pause it, you can kind of see the smoke coming off that as the sun rises this morning here. And so we are still dealing with these offshore winds. Things are still very dry. There's red flag warnings still ongoing. The particularly dangerous situation was supposed to end at 9 a.m. this morning. I'm doing that right after that. I don't know if they extended that or not, but the red flag warnings are still out there. Still pretend like this is a very dangerous situation. There's still fire danger as we go through the day today. Pressure gradient should be relaxing as we go through tomorrow. And we're going to take a look at the extended forecast as well as we go through the video this morning. This is what the day one fire weather outlook looks like. We have elevated and critical, and that does not mean there is no fire threat across the rest of the state as well. This is just kind of areas they are looking at in particular. And if we take a look, that is what is known as the mountain fire. It's up over 14,500 acres as we speak. It is not contained at all because the winds are still blowing. So this has the potential to be spreading today. You can see Oxnard, California right there. There's Malibu down at the bottom of that image. And this was going on yesterday as well. This is what I was talking about the previous days. This is what's known as long range spotting. You can imagine this fire going, and then you get these unstable conditions, and these embers get lofted to some pretty extreme heights, and then you get the strong winds that bring these well downstream, and they can catch all kinds of stuff on fire. You could have big roads or huge valleys even in between the area that's burning and where these embers are coming down. So that is what long range spotting is. They did mention this in their forecast discussion, and they still haven't updated this for the red flag warning. I keep updating to see if they're going to update it, and they have not. But that is supposed to end at 9 a.m. here, but still the red flag warnings are going to be going on. So it's kind of academic at this point. And looking at National Weather Service, Los Angeles, we still have the storm warnings out over the waters. We have high wind warnings still for portions of Southern California. So check for your individual location if you need to. Go to the National Weather Service page, and red flag warnings are still in effect as well. And on the flip side of that, we do have the potential for some unsettled weather coming in here. This was issued this morning by Sacramento National Weather Service. We've got some weather systems that are lurking here often through the extended, and I'll show you some of that here more in a moment. But Eureka catching on to that as well. You can see as we go through Sunday and Sunday night, the precipitation amounts are going to be picking up. You can see Fort Bragg there getting up towards a ½ an inch, Point Arena, and you can see places like Honeydew, Crescent City there. Look at Gasquet, 0.76 inches. So yeah, we have some frontal systems on the way, especially for Central and North California. And in the extended forecast, we have the potential all the way down through Southern California. Stick with me for that in a moment. I also did want to give this a mention. You can see this, wintry storm here across portions of eastern Arizona and New Mexico. Pretty dynamic storm up into Colorado as well. Could be some severe weather out ahead of that across Texas. But on the backside of that, the high pressure there over the Great Basin, Intermountain West, is what's driving these strong offshore winds as we go through the day today. But that pressure gradient should be relaxing tomorrow. And then we got another frontal system headed towards California as we go through the end of the weekend. So taking a look at the winds at 2,500 feet off the surface, you can see the strong offshore flow, and you can see how these come through the gaps here across Southern California. The winds are still fairly strong as we go through the day today, as you can see, and they do weaken a little, but they're still fairly robust as we go through tonight. But then tomorrow morning, you can really see that as we get towards about 4 a.m., the pressure gradient will be relaxing. Still some strong northerlies, though, across some of the desert areas, the California-Arizona border, up towards Nevada also, but that will be coming to an end as well as we start to get a bit of a pattern change as we go through the weekend and in through next week. Now, let's look at that potential pattern change here with the European Artificial Intelligence, last night's run. So this shows 6-hour precipitation, and now we are looking at mean sea level pressure. So again, in the short term, you can see the high pressure over the Great Basin here, the storm out across portions of Arizona, New Mexico, and Colorado. Dry weather, of course, and the fire danger for California in the meantime. But then we have this frontal system falling apart as it approaches Northern California, and then a stronger front starts to arrive as we go through Sunday night into Monday morning. This could bring some precip across the Bay Area, maybe even the Central Coast. That swings through, and the Pacific Northwest, by the way, is just getting bombarded. We're getting kind of clipped with some of these frontal systems as well. And then we have some troughing dropping down across the West Coast, and depending on the trajectory of that low, it could bring some interesting weather here to California. And as we go off into the extended forecast, there's, additional frontal systems with that potential as well. But I want to show you the GFS also. So this is a global forecast system. This is the USA model. Let's put this into motion and we'll check out the timing of this frontal system as we go. This is Sunday night, and you can see that moving into Northern California really on Monday morning, bringing some precip down towards the Bay Area. It's a bit weaker with that initial front, but watch what it shows here coming up. Now we continue off in towards next week, and it drops this low off the coastline. That would be quite a dynamic system here. These are what really cause some unsettled weather. You can get atmospheric river activity, some strong waves, big waves and strong winds can accompany this as well. So you can see this one spinning right off the Bay Area all the way down through Southern California. This is fantasy land right now. You see the European did not have the same trajectory with this low. So this is something we'll be watching and working and figuring things out over the next few days. If we take a look at the 6 to 10 day, Climate Prediction Center says below normal here for much of California through November 16th. Still got that above average signal there, so they're kind of watching these storm systems as well. And they 14 day through November 20th, you can see the below average for much of the west and much of the lower 48 and the above average precipitation. So got that going for us. But anyway, I hope you guys are staying safe out there. Hopefully the smoke is not affecting you too much. Hopefully no additional fires start as we go through the day today. But otherwise, let me know what you guys are seeing at your individual locations, and we'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.